Welcome back, everybody. A little bit of a little bit of a vacation. Some people could say for the hard count, but we're back, better than ever, joined by Matt, Mr. Wise Sheets. How we doing?
We are doing fantastic this fine Taco Tuesday, August 10th. We're doing fantastic. It's excited to be talking about football. And just think, guys, we're less than a month away from Thursday Night Football.
We are less than a month away. And Ethan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, my boys just hit a two-run homer to take a 3-2 lead over the Royals, so we're chilling. We're doing good at the moment. We are doing good. Oh, look at this. Matt, you put extra cheddar on your tacos.
I think it depends. Depends on the mood.
Yo, hot take here.
As of right now, yes.
Yo, hot take. Tacos, overrated.
Agreed.
Ooh.
Like, not even. I wouldn't even consider tacos a top 15 food.
What 15 foods are you putting above them?
Yeah, I mean,
Bro, listen, I can easily name 15. Bro, give me a nice dozen wings. Give me a nice slice of pizza. I'll take a nice bacon, egg, and cheese. And technically, that could be two foods because eggs is one, bacon's another. So, I mean, listen.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, if you're gonna have a taco, it better be a hard shell. None of that soft shell tortilla taco BS. Come on, people. Enough with the soft tacos. If you're going with the taco, you got to have the hard, crunchy shell.
I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of my young life, I was a big soft shell guy, and now I'm indifferent now. I would only go for the soft, but now the hard shell is all right. So I can switch back and forth, but I don't think I'm as passionate about it. I just don't. But you know what? Tacos overrated anyway, so it doesn't even matter. All right, but with that being said, you know what? We're going to get straight into it, people, because you know what? Like Matt said, we're less than a month away from football. We've been away for a little bit, but we're back. Better late than never, as some people like to say. And you know what? We'll start off with what happened this weekend. No, not training camps or anything like that. It was the Hall of Fame, baby. The Hall of Fame class of 2020 and 2021 went into the hall. So let's see. We got some headliners in both of these classes. I mean, we got Peyton Manning going in. We got Edgerrin James going in. We got Bill Cowher going in. We got Mr.
Jimmy
Locke himself.
Johnson.
No. We got Mr. Locke himself. Mr. Flo himself. Troy Polamalu going in. And Megatron. I mean, listen. We got some beastie Hall of Famers in these classes. And listen, this isn't on the list either. And I only say this because I was listening to the radio and they made a list about this. Some of the better Hall of Fame classes. I didn't even realize how good some Hall of Fame classes were. Because I always feel like there's always like that one headliner in Hall of Fame classes, and everybody else is like, oh yeah, they're a Hall of Famer, but it's not like that crazy big name. Now, listen, let me tell you. There's some crazy Hall of Fame classes. I believe that I think Joe Montana and oh my gosh, it was another. I'm gonna look it up because now it's gonna annoy me. It's gonna annoy me, and as I have a random video playing that just absolutely started for no reason. It's just awkward. But all right, let's get into it. So, boys, was there a moment that stands out to you from this Hall of Fame induction ceremony?
Ooh, I'll point one out. One that was definitely most interesting to me was when Jerry Jones was right next to Jimmy Johnson, and he squared in front of the television, basically has to say Jimmy Johnson's going to be inducted into the Ring of Honor. I mean, we're talking so many years of egos. I mean, you talk about why the Cowboys have pretty much sucked for the last 25 years was because Jerry Jones basically told Jimmy Johnson, I don't need you, bro. I could put in any coach I want, and we're going to keep on winning. They did win one more Super Bowl, and that's been about it. And I just think that was personally cool just because of the fact of it was a long time coming. You know what I mean? It's one of those where it's like Jimmy Johnson, he deserves to, one, be in the Cowboys Ring of Honor already. I don't even know why he's not even inducted in the Ring of Honor. But then, two,
Well, because
you look
they don't
at
like
it,
each other. That's pretty simple.
well, I mean, they don't like each other. But I just like it from the front of, it's front and center stage. Like, right on Fox, right just beforehand, you had all the Fox crew, like the Terry Bradshaw, the Strahan, everybody there. You had Jerry there, Jimmy with Troy Aikman right next to it. I mean, it was juicy. It was quite a scene. I loved watching it just because it kind of in a way forced Jimmy's hand. Like, well, shit. Now I gotta put him in the Ring of Honor. I can't go on, national TV and just say, yeah, no, Jimmy, you're not going to the Ring of Honor. My ego is bigger than yours. I don't care. You're in the Hall of Fame. You're not going to the Ring of Honor. So I just love seeing that, just because it was kind of like, ooh, hey, Jerry,
anytime
what are you going to do?
Look like an ass. I'm all for it.
Exactly.
Unless you're a Cowboys fan, there's no way in hell you actually enjoy Jerry Jones. Like, there's just no way.
That's the Bears fan. I enjoy him.
Oh, my, Ethan.
Hey,
what, Ethan? You enjoy the Cowboys?
Listen, if he pisses off Philadelphia fans, I like him.
I mean, I guess.
I don't like, if it's for any other reason, I don't. But just to piss off Philly fans.
I've never met an owner that's on TV more in my life.
Mark Cuban?
No.
Mark Cuban has his own show. What do you mean?
All right. But he ain't talking sports in that on Shark Tank. Yo, listen, by the way, Mark, I got some great ideas, bro. In case you ever see this episode, I'm telling you, boys, let me tell you. Let me let you in on my secret. Ready? You know you ever go to the bank and you see those little tubes that shoot the checks up into the bank? And yeah. You know those? We're taking those and we're putting it in people's mailboxes, so you never have to go get the mail again. It just goes directly into your house.
Ooh.
Tell me that's not $1 billion idea.
What happens when someone puts, I don't know, a chemical in it, though?
Listen, we can go through the safety details. You know, maybe we put a little camera in the mailbox, or a little detector.
Even worse, what happens when someone puts an Aaron Rodgers jersey in it?
Oh, that's just disrespectful.
I mean,
well, what if it's not pretty soon it won't be a Packers Aaron Rodgers jersey, so you won't even care, Ethan.
True. No, pretty soon it'll be a Vikings or a Jets one, just like Favre.
I want to say Vikings and Jets. Come on, Ethan, be realistic. It'll most likely be Denver. Be more realistic. Come on now.
It would be quite the show for him to go to the Vikings, though. God, would that be good. Ethan, do you have any moments that stand after you from this Hall of Fame weekend?
Yep, with Calvin Johnson. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, in his speech he did not thank the Detroit Lions organization.
No, he did. You're sort of right. I believe he thanked his teammates. I don't know if he really said the organization.
That's very different than thanking the organization, especially seeing as they kind of demanded that he give back $1.6 million of a signing bonus after his abrupt retirement. So there's some beef going on there, and with your best player of all time, other than Barry Sanders, of course, kind of hating your organization, that's not really a good sign for any current or soon-to-be Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you're right, because, thanking the organization, thanking your teammates is definitely different. So, listen, they're just known for wasting careers. Like, if we could have just taken Stafford, Megatron, and Barry and just had them at the same time, they would have been fine. But no, they just had to play in. I'll say two different generations, but I almost feel like saying three, because Megatron and Stafford didn't exactly line up. Like, they had their years, but they didn't exactly line up. So they've wasted plenty of careers. We'll see how good old Stafford does in this. I was almost at St. Louis. I almost said it.
You really almost said St. Louis?
Bro, St. Louis Rams all the way. They deserve a team as well. Look at the Cardinals. Always fun. and they get their football. I just couldn't imagine rooting for a team and then it gets taken away from you. I could not imagine that. Like if the Yankees all of a sudden moved, I wouldn't know what to do.
It's kind of hard to move a team that's been there for over 100 years.
Like I wouldn't know what to do though.
Yeah, I want to blame you. Could you imagine though if the Arizona Cardinals relocated to St. Louis and you'd have two St. Louis Cardinals? You'd have the St. Louis Cardinals baseball and St. Louis Cardinals football.
I think they should do it just for that. And then you just got to make one piece of merchandise, just St. Louis Cardinals with the Cardinal, and then you could wear it to both games. See?
And then one Cardinal's on top of a baseball bat and the other one's on top of a football.
Yeah.
I mean, hey. Listen,
put that on Shark Tank.
Design ideas, let me know.
Hey, put that on Shark Tank.
Yeah, it could be up there. Now, I mentioned this before, some extraordinary Hall of Fame classes, and I finally found it, and I looked it up. Boys, the Hall of Fame class, as this video plays again, like what is going on in my ears right now? I'm just going to exit it out. The Hall of Fame class of 1985. We had Joe Namath, Pete Rozelle, O.J. Simpson, and Roger Staubach. I mean, that's a class.
Well,
that's a class, especially with O.J. Simpson, man.
Yeah.
One of the first ever running backs to get 2,000 yards.
And the most overrated quarterback of all time.
No, absolutely. You don't have to argue here with me. I'll forever say Namath should not be in the Hall of Fame. If
the only reason why he's in the Hall of Fame,
he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. I was going to say that's the only reason why he's in the Hall of Fame is because he said a guarantee.
Let's see. Oh, the class of 99? We got Eric Dickerson. We got Ozzie Newsome, NLT, Lawrence Taylor. I mean, hey. There's some... Look at this. Class 2004, John Elway and Barry Sanders. 2010. This is a good one. 2010, we had Ricky Jackson, Dick LeBeau, John Randall, Jerry Rice, and Emmitt Smith. And hey, look, even the class 2011, Deion Sanders, Shannon Sharp, Marshall Faulk. I mean, hey.
My personal favorite, I would go 93. You got Dan Fouts, Larry Little, Chuck Noll, Walter Payton, and Bill Walsh.
You know what? I absolutely skipped over that one on accident, and I shouldn't have. I'm a little ashamed of myself.
That takes the cake right there. But another thing that, well, I mean, it's up there. I mean, just all the
you know
legends.
What? I feel like, man, I don't know. I think I go with the class of 85. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. Joe Namath, overrated as all hell. But he is like the first. I feel like he was the first like NFL player to cross over into the mainstream media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, with the mink coat on, playing in New York, all that, and then you got Pete Rozelle, who is the reason the NFL is what it is today. He was in charge of the merger. Then you got OJ. Now listen, we know what he did off the field.
Yeah, Nicole Brown Simpson didn't know what was coming.
Either did the other dude. I can't remember his name. But hey, fantastic running back. And then Roger Staubach, one of the GOATs.
Exactly. The reason why the Cowboys are called America's team is because of Roger Staubach.
Well, you know what? Maybe I don't like that class so much now. Because that is probably the most annoying thing that I have to hear in sports all the time.
If anything, the Patriots should be America's team. Because
you know
America,
what? Listen, you don't got to tell me.
Red, white, and blue.
Listen, you don't got to tell me.
I mean, shouldn't the Yankees be America's team, seeing as they have won the most titles?
27. Yeah.
I'm a fan of both teams, so it's fine with me. I'm just saying.
And both of them are my second favorite teams in each sport. So.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
For the Patriots, I always loved Aaron Hernandez, and for the Yankees, I've always loved Derek Jeter. So.
Well, Derek Jeter's on my wall to my left right here, so I can't blame you there.
Yeah, one of the greatest shortstop of all time.
This is just absolute facts. Now, the class of 2022, we'll see who's eligible for that one. Now, of course, the article that I had up was also the article that kept playing annoying videos in my ear and nobody else could hear. So I exited it out. But the one I have to say, I don't care about anybody else in the class. If my man Vince Wilfork don't get in first ballot, I'm not with it. That's my boy. Has given me some great memories on the field. And you know what? One of my best.
He also, I'm sorry to interrupt, he also had one of the best moments of Hard Knocks when he was with the Texans. He just rolls up.
Rolled up with, with the overalls on.
All this Texan overalls, the cowboy boots.
You know what? Speaking of Hard Knocks, man, it's funny you mentioned that. The first episode is tonight.
Oh.
Which I did not know until I was watching Colin Cowherd this morning because nothing else was on television. And I like to annoy myself and listen to him speak. But yeah, Vince Wilfork got to go in because actually I'm pretty sure Vince Wilfork, by the way, is responsible for the butt fumble. So right there, automatically first ballot Hall of Famer. And second of all, I one time was playing Madden with my friend and intercepted a ball with Vince Wilfork and returned it for a touchdown. One of the funniest moments.
How many yards?
You know what? I think it was only about 15, but it happened.
Oh, okay, but still,
listen, 15. Big man Vince Wilfork, interception on man. We were both crying, sitting there crying to each other. It was funny as hell. So that's why Vince has to go in first. But Matt, tell me more about the other people that are eligible because, like I said, I had to exit out said article.
Yeah, well, so some other nominees. You got wide receiver Andre Johnson, probably one of the best players in the Texans franchise history.
Oh no, he's the best.
He's the best.
He is the best.
Actually, all right, let me not because JJ deserves some respect.
JJ deserves some respect, but Andre Johnson was there from the start. Like he was there 2003, pretty much till around when DeAndre Hopkins came around, like 2014. Like he was there for 11 years. He was like the guy.
So you're telling me David Carr isn't the GOAT?
No, David Carr isn't the GOAT.
The first ever draft pick by the team?
I mean, I feel bad for the guy because he had no O-line and he basically got sacked almost every play.
Man almost died. Almost folded Joe Burrow.
He almost died, literally. And then another nominee, DeMarcus Ware. As many of you guys may know, played for the Cowboys a long time, went to the Broncos, was a part of that great Broncos defense that won Peyton Manning a Super Bowl. He's eligible. And there's also another receiver who I believe should get in, Reggie Wayne.
Absolutely.
And then they also have linebacker Zach Thomas is eligible. And your boy, Connie, Richard Seymour. And then they also have a potential called senior nominee, which is one of the older players, called receiver Cliff Branch.
Oh, yeah. Big Cliff Branch fan. Big fan.
And then a potential coach nominee, they have Dick Vermeil.
Oh.
He was the head coach of the Rams that brought him the Super Bowl. He was also with the Eagles for 7 years from 76 to 83, Rams for 3 years, and then the Chiefs from 2001 to 2005.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't Steve Smith available as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Ice Up Son is available.
Ice Up Son?
Here's the thing. If Steve Smith makes it, there's no reason for him, Andre Johnson, and Anquan Boldin all not to make it. Andre Johnson, I assume, put ahead of him, but Steve Smith and Boldin have pretty much the same exact stats. But
the only difference is Anquan Boldin, I believe, has a Super Bowl,
right?
Steve Smith doesn't.
Right. So you can't put Steve Smith in there if you're not putting Boldin
in. Now, do we think any of these people that you just said get in?
I believe so. I do believe for the most part, I do believe your boy Vince.
Well, Matt, hold on. I got to stop you there. We got breaking news here. Ethan hates babooies.
Well,
but it actually meant babies.
Here's one thing I will say. How are you going to try to roast Ethan but spell what you're roasting wrong?
You can't even. Come on.
Like if you're gonna roast somebody, you gotta have the correct spelling.
Hey, this is a Texas football fan. He doesn't know how to spell.
Well.
No,
the only thing
here's
one thing with like Texas though. It's like down.
You know, I would love to get in on that, but I wouldn't watch college sports if you paid me. So.
But why? It's fun though.
It's not. Listen, you can say this all you want. It's not entertaining.
But the bowl. What about the bowl season though?
I'll watch the semifinal and final.
Well, there you go.
All right, that's it. That's 2 games out the whole year. Everything else you can throw it away.
So
Well,
you wouldn't even so you wouldn't even watch Saturday football. Like
No.
you wouldn't have watched when Burrow played Alabama 3 versus 2. You wouldn't have watched that.
See, all right, if there's a good game on like that, then yeah. But like everything else, I'm not locked in on. I don't care about Alabama, Northern Kentucky Christian University, backyard football league. That's not what I care for, and that's what I feel like most of the games are.
Connie, are you telling me that you're not going to watch the Illinois-Nebraska game in a couple weeks?
You're absolutely right.
Illinois, Nebraska, oh boy.
There is a 0% chance that will happen. Listen, I might turn it on because, it's football and I get bored. But listen, I'm waiting for Sunday, baby.
Sunday,
and I got
September
17
12th.
weeks of Sundays this year.
18.
18, you're right. It was 17 before. 18 weeks of football, guys. It's going to be good. Just one extra week.
Hey, one last thing I'll ask. Will Anthony Conover be in New England when Brady comes home?
No, I won't be. Do I want to be? Absolutely. But if somebody, wants to donate the $1,200 I need to buy a ticket to sit in the
That's the cheapest one?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
And it's like to sit in the absolute nosebleeds. Like you're literally sitting. You might as well sit in the parking lot. And it's like $1,200. I'm good.
Well, maybe. Hey, Connie, why don't you apply for a press pass?
I don't even know what that is.
The press pass where you're like
a
reporter.
You said press pass. I thought you said patch pass. I was like, listen. I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to know what that is. Listen, a press pass. I say I got a cover for Unwrapped Sports for the hard count. Let me in. Possibly.
They call. Then you could also say you're Connie A. Smith, and you work like 3 different shows.
And I'm punching everybody in the throat to interview.
Hey, Connie, I found some $800 tickets for you.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I'll start the GoFundMe now. So listen, $800. Listen, I can't do it.
Yeah, start the GoFundMe and say it's to help support Nan and her parm industry.
Yeah, I might just start selling Nan's recipes. I got some beautiful Peniel vodka in the fridge. Just fantastic that I got leftovers from after I went to her house on Sunday after my Yankee game. But it's just wonderful. Just a wonderful time. But we'll move on to the training camps. And while they are underway, I would like to start off with this. And I added this a little bit after, Matt made the doc. I think it's a big story that's not under the radar, but I feel like is not being taken as seriously as it should. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So Mr. Dak Prescott over here, Dakota, as some would say, is dealing with a little bit of a shoulder injury. And they're basically shutting the man down for 5 weeks just to make sure that he's good for the season opener, which doesn't even make sense because, they're going to get smacked by the Bucs anyway. But with that being said, he's coming off that terrible injury he had last year. The shoulder's a little sore now, and they don't even know what to do. They had to call up the Texas Rangers, yes, the baseball team, to ask them how to treat Dak because it's more of a baseball injury than a football injury. Now, first of all, I know that they're athletic trainers for football, but you're telling me they don't know how to treat an injury like that? So find new doctors, Cowboys, first of all. And second of all, you cannot sit here and tell me that that's not concerning. That they think that it's going to take the full 5 weeks to make sure he's good and that they don't actually know how to treat him. They have to go outside of the team to try and find the help. Ethan, am I making a big deal out of this for nothing?
You're not making a big deal.
Well, what do you think about this?
That the Cowboys are stupid and they always have been. What do you want me to say? This is the Cowboys.
You know what? I accept that answer.
This is Texas football at its finest.
Matt, how do you feel?
I'm honestly not surprised. I feel like this is disappointing for the Cowboys because you expect, what you expect is, especially with what happened to Dak last year, his ankle just being, shattered. just dangling in place like a noodle. You wanted him to be healthy during the offseason and in training camp to get more integrated with Big Mac and the offense there down in Big D, because it was a problem last year because they only won 6 games. And now you look at he's sitting out basically for 5 weeks, which will pretty much push him towards, that Thursday night football game in week 1, which like you mentioned, Anthony, you probably shouldn't even play him because you're about to get mollywopped by the Bucs. You mean to tell me Bucs on banner night with Brady coming in rejuvenated, somehow being booed at the Hall of Fame game? If that motherfucker doesn't need any more motivation, you're just going to boo him at a Hall of Fame speech when he's going to be there soon? It's like, what are we doing? Like, there's no way the Bucs are even losing on Thursday, even if Dak plays. Even if Dak Prescott plays on Thursday night, you already know Tampa's coming to town, and they're just going to be like, it's Super Bowl, it's banner night. I mean, Connie knows that night very well with the Pats. I mean, he's seen it like
Big
6 times. Like, when it's banner night, it's almost more pressure on the Super Bowl winning team to win that game, because you don't want to be like on a ring ceremony when you get the banner displayed and you lose. Like, that's just like, oh, that's not good. So even from that standpoint,
losing banner night though. I feel like they played the Chiefs and lost.
Yeah, they did. That was when Kareem Hunt was born. That was when he basically went off.
Tough night.
I had him that year.
What'd you say, Ethan?
I had him on my fantasy team that year. The year that he decided that, I'm going to become a punter.
No. I thought that was the following.
No, that was a rookie year.
Oh, I had him the year after that.
Oh, see, that's tough.
Yeah, that's as they say, tough for the brand. But anyways, just for the Cowboy side of things, you don't have Dak Prescott for 5 weeks. It's a problem, and especially with it being a shoulder. When you're a quarterback, you kind of need your shoulder a little bit when you throw it. So it's just another one of those, like Ethan mentioned, it is the Cowboys, but I'm going to go with Stephen A. Smith quote, what can go wrong will go wrong. All I know is this is the perfect topic for Hard Knocks. This is going to be basically the ever highlight of Hard Knocks, Dallas Cowboys. You're going to see like, oh, when's Dak going to return? When is he going to play? How's his injury holding up? How's he doing? Because but the thing is, Dak's been paid. He already got his money. So now you got to look and say, you got your money. Your shoulder better be damn well ready by week 1, week 2, or else we got some problems.
Now, see, here's my thing. It says this premieres August 10th. Listen, it's already 9:42 over here on this East Coast. Well, when is this episode dropping? HBO, you're killing me here. What?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are we
Come on,
doing?
HBO. We want to see Jerry Jones on television.
Hyping
Hyping up his squad only to go 8-1.
The wait is over. Hard Knocks is back and better than ever tonight. Yeah, you going to tell me what time?
Look up.
10 p.m.
Well, yeah, but that's just your Eastern.
You're lucky that I'm a young whippersnapper, okay, HBO?
A young whippersnapper?
Because if I had to wait and I was in my elder years,
all right, Papa Connie.
I wouldn't be very happy right now.
Connie's an 80-year-old man at heart.
No. Very young at heart and everywhere else. It's fun. Listen, now we're going to the other stories of training camp. And, I guess we'll do this because Matt put it there. So I'll go in his order. But Rodgers is back. Listen, did we ever really expect Aaron to not play? Maybe some of us. I might have been one of those people. In fact.
Oh, you so were?
It's possible.
You so were. You were nagging on me so hard saying there were
listen, unless there's proof, I need receipts. Need them.
You were nagging on me so hard saying that Green Bay is going to be a 6-win team. They're going to be irrelevant.
I haven't. Now, Ethan, have you seen any receipts?
No, I have not.
You know what? Exactly. That it clearly didn't happen. The old saying, picks or it didn't happen. Clearly can't find any. But, Matt, I have to start with you, our Mr. Big Old Packer fan here. He said, I heard a little something about, Aaron. It's weird because I sat out like the rest of the preseason. But, now that I'm here, I'm all in, blah, blah, blah. Do you have any concerns that he's all in, or, what are you looking at from Mr. Aaron over there?
I don't have any concerns. He's back in that training camp. I figured he would be back at that time. I just looked at other situations. I mean, when the reports first came out that he wanted to trade and he wanted out, and they listed his teams, it didn't make sense this year for him to go to those teams because they wouldn't have a chance to win. If he would go to Denver this year, they wouldn't have been able to win because you're not going to beat the Chiefs. You might struggle against the Chargers, and you'll be a wild card team with no home playoff game. If he stays in Green Bay this year, which is most likely he will, you got a guaranteed division win. We're going to lock up the NFC North with ease, and it's not even going to be a problem. Guaranteed home game. At least 1 week. Now, will I guarantee home field advantage the rest of the playoffs? No. We had our chance last year, and we blew it because Daddy Brady came to town and just proved why he was a GOAT. That was the only reason. We had an opportunity last year.
Was there any ever doubt? Was there ever any doubt, I should say? No, there wasn't.
I had doubts because I was a homer. I had to ride or die with my team, but
you died all right.
Yeah, I did.
In the middle of the street.
I died. My soul died on January 26th.
Stampeded by a goat.
Exactly, stampeded by a goat. And, I just look at it from a standpoint of this is pretty much it. Like, this is going to be, in my opinion, the final ride. I mean, you saw Green Bay make a move, bring back Randall Cobb, bring back the old squad. The only people that are missing are James Jones, Jordy Nelson. Just bring them back on coaching staffs, please, because that would be some good memory there. But this is pretty much it. This is going to be one of those where it could be, it probably will be Super Bowl or bust. If somehow, some way we win the Super Bowl, which is going to be very rare, very slim, I think that'd be the only reason I would see he would return. But I mean, for the most part, I think it's probably going to be, another NFC Championship game appearance, probably on the road, and I'll probably get embarrassed again. Probably going to be another one of those situations. But am I going to hold out hope? Absolutely. But we'll see what happens there. But glad Rodgers is back at camp. Wasn't shocked. Now, instead of winning 6 or 7 games, we'll probably be in the Super Bowl conversation like we normally are whenever you have a QB like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know what I was watching, but I believe if Rodgers didn't play, they had like a 0.2% chance to make the playoffs. And now that he is playing, it's, a reasonable.
Okay, I will say that's cap. I think if we didn't have Rodgers, we would not be 0.2%. I would give us I'd give us at least 30% or higher.
30% without Aaron Rodgers, man.
At least
Jordan Love's throwing.
Yes,
I think
Jordan Love would be the starter, and we would at least we would at least, with Jordan Love as a starter, bare minimum at least 6 wins, bare minimum, possibly more.
5 at max with Jordan Love at quarterback this year.
We would not have 5 wins. We would have at least 7 or 8, maybe 9 if we're lucky.
I don't know. That's steep. Ethan, I know you're Mr. Bears fan, but what do you got? Any thoughts on Rodgers back to camp?
Oh, I'm excited for it. This is going to be another year of watching Packers fans' dreams get crushed.
Probably in the championship game, right?
What's this, the 4th or 5th time?
It'd be the 5th time.
Now, let me ask you a question. What was your most painful playoff loss? Because I'm not even a Packers fan.
I know. 2014 NFC Championship game against Seattle. That will forever be the most painful loss because all Bostic had to do was block his damn player, have Jordy Nelson recover the onside kick. We're going to Super Bowl 49. Will I guarantee a win? No, but at least we'd get there versus the Pats. And that year we beat the Pats 26-21. So there could have been a possibility of Rodgers versus Brady in a Super Bowl. Maybe Rodgers would have 2. Maybe he'd still have 1, But who knows? That will forever be, in my opinion, the most painful playoff loss that I've watched. If I were to rank them, it would be the NFC Championship game of 2014. Probably last year's championship game just because we had so many opportunities. You pick the GOAT 3 times and have 6 points. That's bullshit. That's unacceptable. Tough. You're asking to lose that game. And then, of course, on a 4th down, our second-year head coach decide, we got to go against the GOAT Brady. Let's kick a field goal and give him the ball down 6.
Oh, Alex, not only do I buy into the Last Dance photos and meeting behind Rodgers and Adams, I'm investing all money into said stock.
Here's the thing. It's not the last dance because they haven't ever had the first dance together.
Ooh, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, Ethan's right on that one. I can't say anything about that. Another NFC Championship loss. Well, another playoff loss that I would rank. That was a tough one for me to watch. Was when we lost to Arizona in overtime. When the pass plays to Fitzgerald, that one was tough, especially with what Rodgers did to get there. 4th and 20, throw to a guy named Jeff Janis, and then a Hail Mary at the end of the game, just to get there, only to have the coin not flip once. And then you flip it again and you still lose. And then just have Fitzgerald, and then just have Larry Fitzgerald submit his Hall of Fame legacy with 2 of the most biggest plays probably in Cardinals history. I'd say that was a tough loss.
Now, has Larry decided to come back yet?
I have no idea with
Larry.
Larry.
He has not made that announcement yet.
Now, this is an interesting development.
Development, but
I want my man to get a Super Bowl ring, bro. Listen, I know the playing for one team thing is kind of cool, and I wish Brady did it, obviously. But hey, get my man Larry a ring. I don't even care if it's a replica ring.
Yeah, just get him something. But those, Anthony, as a Packers fan, those are probably my toughest playoff losses that I've seen. Now, there's plenty more because, we've lost a lot.
I feel like this is
San Francisco's pretty much owned us, whether it was Kaepernick twice or, Raheem Mostert just basically exposing himself all over.
Line absolutely bodied Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, there's that. Let's see. There's us losing to Atlanta, but I kind of figured that because we ran out of gas. There's also, how we somehow went 15-1 and lost to the Giants.
Yeah, that was an interesting one as well.
And that's
all throughout the week.
And that's pretty much it.
I like this question. So, Ethan, do you have any? I mean, I know.
Double doink.
Double
doink's number one, and that's it.
Exactly.
I think that's the only time. Oh, and when we beat you in the NFC Championship game. Boom.
Well, that's because Cutler's too much of a little bitch to play with a fucking sprained finger.
Hey, don't disrespect your best quarterback in franchise history.
Best quarterback ever. That's how you talk about him.
It's Cutler. I could probably pick out a better quarterback from D2 right now than Cutler. Send him on that Bears team, and we could have beaten the Packers that year.
So double doink is number one. Would that be number two?
For sure.
Yeah, you know what? That is fair.
What about you, Connie? As a Pats fan, what are your most tough losses? You're probably here. I'll
I got this. Don't you worry, I got this.
It's not a lot, but
you know what? I definitely go with the 2007 Super Bowl. Like, that's just tough. That stupid helmet catch that I still fast forward every time. The luckiest catch and throw in Super Bowl history. Actually, no, in football history. You could say the 2011 Super Bowl that they lost to the Giants again, but it's actually, I don't know what year it was. They played the Broncos in the AFC Championship game.
Was it 2013 or 2015?
I was going to say, I think it was 13.
It was whatever year they won the Super Bowl. They played
2015.
The
15 then, yeah.
Okay. And, they drive down the field. Gronk makes an unbelievable catch on 4th down.
Didn't they score a touchdown and then they failed the 2-point conversion to tie it?
And they need a 2-point conversion. And Gronk just couldn't get to the ball. That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
What about Super Bowl 52?
Yeah, I mean, not really. That one didn't bother me too much. I mean, it does, obviously, because you lose, but I'm kind of a homer. Not kind of. I am a homer in the fact that I would rather the Patriots. All right, let me word this very carefully. Ready? Never do I want the Patriots to lose, but if they were to lose, I would want Brady to play good in the game that they lose, and he played extremely well in that game, so it doesn't hurt me as much. And plus, we had beat the Eagles before, and my brother is actually an Eagles fan, and I got plenty of Super Bowl rings. So it was nice to see my brother actually be able to celebrate one. I wasn't even that mad. A little upset.
How about this?
But you know what, my bro finally got to see what it's like to climb the mountain.
How about this? Which Ravens playoff loss was worse, 09 wildcard game or a 2012 AFC Championship game?
I gotta go 2012.
Just because it was in Foxborough, or wait, both were in Foxborough. Never mind.
I gotta go 2012. That was a tough one. Some great wins, though. Let me tell you, some great wins. Plenty of them.
Hey, while we're on that, I'll highlight a great playoff win that I got to witness, stealing the heart and soul out of Dallas, seeing Crosby hit 2 clutch 50-plus yard field goals to seal the deal. Aaron Rodgers sideline throw to Jared Cook.
Still doesn't make any sense.
How did he get that curve?
That's what I'm saying. You're inside. You're inside.
He's inside. How did it curve? Like the first one from 56 was crazy because it was curving, it went wide, snuck in. And then from 51, the first time it was a no problem. The second time it went.
My man was out here doing algebra or geometry. I don't even know which one it was. That's how bad I was at math. But we'll move on. Rookies that you're impressed with so far at training camp, or let's lump these two together. We'll go with rookies you're impressed with at training camp, and then any big surprises coming out of training camp. Ethan, let's start with you there, brother.
That Alec Ogletree got like 6 picks in his first 2 or 3 days of Bears training camp.
Ooh, okay.
It just walks in first day, gets 2 or 3 interceptions that day. As a newly signed, veteran minimum free agent.
Any rookies that you're particularly thrilled with here?
Trey Lance, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up actually winning that starting job.
You think he'll win the starting job week 1?
I mean, from what I've been hearing from some 49ers reporters, Garoppolo ain't looking good.
See, that's the funny thing because I think Shanahan said that Jimmy looked very good, and then John Lynch came out and said Trey Lance was looking unbelievable.
I also heard John Lynch said Jimmy G is playing the best he's ever played, as a 49er.
See, I thought that was Kyle Shanahan.
Well, it was one of the two. So somebody said it.
No, because I just remember that one said Jimmy was good. The other said, now I lost his name. Trey was good. Yeah. So, that's the thing, too. I hate reading into things like this because it's all bullshit, that they're just trying to make both of them sound good. Probably so they can trade Jimmy. But, just because you don't really want to come out in public and be like, yeah, by the way, our players, kind of garbage. You don't really want to do that. So I always take these things with a grain of salt.
That's why I'm
a little excited, Ethan, that you did bring up Mr. Trey Lance because I want to see what happens with that one. I'm just surprised you didn't bring up your own boy, though.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
He's not going to start. I think Dalton's going to – I'm not going to say go back to his Pro Bowl form, but he'll be the closest he's been in a while.
You think – give me a hot take here. Does Andy Dalton start and finish the season?
I think if Dalton finishes the season, he's our first 4,000-yard passer in history.
You guys have never had a 4,000-yard passer?
Or a quarterback to throw 30 or more touchdowns. We're a running and defense franchise. We are a running and defense franchise to the end.
I mean, yeah, but you're telling me Cutler never did 4,000 yards?
Nope. I'm pretty sure the most is 36 or 3,700. I'll look that number up for you right now.
What? Nah. Again, listen, Bears. I have a mean arm on Madden. So I feel like if I worked hard enough, I could translate that to the actual field. Give me a call.
You know what's funny? Cutler's not even the leader for that passing yards in a season. Eric Kramer, 38-38. Cutler's in second with 38-12.
That's disgusting.
Kramer had 29 passing touchdowns that year also.
That's disgusting.
So
that is.
If he just completed about 10 more passes, one of which for a touchdown, he'd be the best quarterback. He already technically is the best quarterback in Bears history just for that 1 year. That 9-7 year in 1995.
I'm not only disgusted, but I'm appalled. I'm mortified. and just downright disturbed that you've never had a 4,000 yard
we
pass.
like Stephen A. Smith said, we have been hoodwinked.
We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled,
led astray, run amok,
and straight up deceived.
How is it that the second best franchise in all of football has never had a 4,000 yard pass?
Second best? Who's first?
Honestly, I'm going to go. I think I'm probably going to go with the Patriots just because of their recent success. But if they had won one less Super Bowl, I think I would go Bears, Pats, Packers. But the Packers.
So we're just going to ignore the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore the Steelers, who
This is a
basically
bold-
we're
this is a
gonna
bold
wait a
statement
minute.
out of Ethan.
We're gonna ignore the Steelers, who've only had like 3 head coaches in 50 years.
Yep.
This is a bold statement out of Ethan. It's a hot take, some would say.
That is a hot take. Here's while we're on the topic of hot takes, I also kind of agree with Ethan. The hot take of Andy Dalton starting from week 1 all the way to the end. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens because in my honest opinion, there's really no point in playing Justin Fields. He's your franchise quarterback. You're not going to rush him in to start week 1 just for the hell of it, just because Bear fans say, we want Justin Fields. We want him to start best QB in franchise history. # Soldier Fields.
Well, apparently that's not very difficult to be the first, the best quarterback in franchise history. Apparently,
he hasn't even had a snap yet. How are you going to say he's the best in franchise history when he hasn't even taken a snap
like I said,
yet?
It's apparently not very difficult. But second of all, I don't think he has to start week 1. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going a 0% chance Andy Dalton starts all these games. 0.
Well,
Justin Fields is getting in there one of these games.
What week do you give until Justin Fields maybe starts? Because one week I will say
Chicago Bears schedule. Let me look at it.
Yeah, because I was going to say one week I would say if somehow Fields does start, I think the Bears have to be out of the playoff picture. I don't think the Bears throw in Justin Fields if they're somehow in the playoff hunt with Red Rifle. If they're in the playoff hunt with Red Rifle, they're basically going to keep them going.
Well, let's see here. Let's play the infamous win-loss, win-loss, loss-loss, win game. So let's see. Week 1, they got the Rams. Loss. Easy. Then they play the Bengals. They should win that game.
They
better win against the Bengals.
But listen, I'm a big believer in the Bengals this year. Big believer. Not making the playoffs, but they're going to be better than some people think.
Connie, shut up. We're moving on.
Come on, Connie. Like 5-6 wins.
Nah, I'm going 7.
No, they're not winning 7.
I'm going 7.
Stop it.
Connie, if you were going to give the Packers 6 wins without Rodgers, you better be giving the Bengals 3 or 4.
Listen, the Bengals at least have a quarterback.
Connie, I'm telling you right now, their offensive line is going to be like the Bears.
Don't get me wrong. I know. Joe Burrow might die again.
We're going to have.
You don't got to tell me. Me and Josh did a prayer circle every Monday for Joe Burrow.
Exactly. Every Sunday and Monday, we're going to have a prayer circle all around Joe Burrow and his knees to make sure he survives another week.
Need a quick pause on that one, but
what?
Let's see.
He hurt one of his knees. Protect the other one.
Then the Bears play the Browns. That's a fat L.
That is a fat L.
Then they play.
It should be, but let's be honest here. This is the Browns. It should be a loss.
Yeah,
though.
you know what? You could say that about 5 years ago.
The Browns is the Browns.
The Browns are nice now. Confirmed. Then they play the Lions. And that's a win. If you lose to the Lions, disgusting. Raiders, that's a win too. I don't think that.
Wait. But here's the thing, Connie. It's the Week 5 Raiders. They're always hot to start the season.
This is a very true statement.
This is the Week 5 Raiders.
That's an excellent point.
This isn't Week 13, Week 14 Raiders. This is Week 5 Raiders.
I might make a bold statement here that might be one of the smartest things Matt's ever said on one of these lines.
Excuse you. I've said some very smart
things. No, but that was up there.
About?
That was up there. Then you play the Packers.
L.
Sorry, that's an L. You play the Bucks. That's a fat L. Then you play the 49ers. That's a fat L. Then you play the Steelers. I'm gonna give a W. Let me tell you something. At this point, so you got 1 loss, 2 losses.
It's at
3
Heinz
losses, 4, 5. You have 5 losses in week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
right,
9.
But are you really going to start
Fields
against Are you really going to start Fields for his first game at Heinz Fields against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense? No.
No,
Are you
you're going to
against
start
the
him
Ravens?
after the bye week. You're going to start him week 11 against the Ravens after the bye week when you guys are like 3 and 6.
Actually, I found the game.
But you have a week to prepare for it.
I found it. Justin Fields' first game, I would like to confirm.
At the Lions?
No. Home game against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyler Murray versus Justin Fields?
That is
Sign me up for that.
That is his first game. Confirmed.
I could see that, especially because the Bears at the time will probably be 4-7.
You guys are a lot less optimistic than I am. I was going 10-7 or.
See, I'm not a big Andy Dalton guy here.
No. Here's what I will say: they'll probably be 4-7 by week 13. If somehow Justin Fields pulls a miracle and they rally off 6 straight wins, then they could fulfill your prophecy of 10-7. But that's just not going to happen.
You never know.
You're right. That's true. You never know. Let's move on once again, though. Mr. Michael Thomas over here, being all cryptic on the IG, posting, something about, they talk about you and you could have ruined their reputation, but instead you just stay silent, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, this all stems from when Sean Payton basically said he could have had his surgery a lot sooner and he wouldn't have had to miss any time. He basically pulled a Dennis Rodman. No, not a Dennis
Scottie
Rodman.
Pippen.
I lied. Scottie Pippen, there we go. He pulled a Scottie Pippen, basically, is what Sean Payton is saying. Not very happy about the situation. Now, any smart person wouldn't be. Your star wide receiver literally decides to not have surgery for the longest time and then is going to miss part of the season. Now, there's trade rumors. Do they really look to trade him? I don't think it's going to happen. But what do you think this actually means for the Saints? And you think that there's any chance that he is traded sometime in this year, maybe even next offseason, Matt?
Ooh, one thing I will say, well, for the quote is they try to damage your reputation. You saved theirs by not telling your side of the story. That's a very that's a powerful message to say. And
I would also like to confirm, though, that Michael Thomas is a top 10 crybaby in the NFL. Top 10.
Exactly. He's up there.
I would go as far as saying top 5.
Yeah, top 5, especially when all he does best is Mr. Slant Boy.
Who's higher than him besides Aaron Rodgers?
You know what, Ethan? I didn't want to say top 2 because I didn't want to be too disrespectful, but you're right.
All right.
Right.
That was
so we just put Rodgers at 1, Thomas at 2. Yeah. I wasn't even going to say put Rodgers at 1. I wanted to know who you had in your top 5.
No, I actually did have him at 2. I just didn't want to be too disrespectful.
Wait, then who did you have at 1 then?
Oh, no, Mr. Aaron. Biggest bitch I've ever seen.
Damn. Okay. Now, back to the Michael Thomas cryptic tweet. It's very interesting because, you look at he was told during the season not to get surgery, just ride it out with Breeze for one last ride.
Yep.
Just to ride it out. He does as told. They lose in the playoff game to the Bucks. Now, could Michael Thomas have gotten the surgery done right afterwards? Absolutely. He could have gotten that shit done next week. Got the surgery on his ankle. And then is ready by June, July training camp. He could have done that. But what's worse is he decided to wait. He decided to be a little punk and decided to wait. And it's like, oh, you know what? It's July, August. So it's going to take 2 months to heal. Why don't I just get surgery now and wait and miss the first 6 weeks of the season? Keep in mind, their quarterback is a dude who steals crab legs, who just got LASIK eye surgery, Mr. Jameis Winston. And a guy who pretty much does everything besides quarterback, Taysom Hill. And you decide as a number 1 receiver, I'm not only going to miss the first week, I'm going to miss the first 6 weeks because I decided to get ankle surgery when I could have even gotten it in February, and I decided to wait until July. It's a bad look. That's one thing I will say. Yeah, Michael Thomas says they try to damage your reputation. You saved theirs, but not tell your side of the story. But bro, you could have had your surgery in like late January, early February, and still be ready by training camp. Like, why would you wait? I mean, I think he even said he wanted to try to wait it out like the healthy way and not do surgery. But, bro, you're in the offseason. You got plenty of time. Just get the surgery done so you don't even have to worry about the pain. And then you'll be ready to go week 1. Set against the Green Bay Packers will be an L. And then you're ready to start the season. But now you got to wait 6 weeks. The Saints could very well be 2-3, 1-4. They could be disastrous. All because you decided I'm going to go a different route at first. Wait until July, then get my surgery. I just think it's pettiness. It's petty what Michael Thomas is doing. I also think it's very unprofessional. Like it's one thing if Michael Thomas was irrelevant, but he's the top receiver on the Saints. He's one of the top receivers in the NFL, top 10.
I wouldn't say that because as of what's been happening as of late, I feel like you can move him down a bit more than that.
Well, no, I said top 10. Like I'm talking like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 range.
You know, I don't even.
When he's fully healthy, he's up there.
Well, when he's fully healthy, but I don't think until 2 years ago he has been healthy.
Yeah, and when also Michael Thomas, the best thing you can run is slants. Like, come on, you can't wait.
The slant is the best route in the NFL, though. Like,
well, but it's only like 5 yards.
Okay, and rack. Like, he does good with that. A lot of receivers do good with that.
Yeah, he possibly could. But I'm just more disappointed in Michael Thomas when you could have got this surgery done in February or March and have no problems. But you decided to pull a Scottie Pippen. Wait all the way until July. And then decide, oh my, I now have to have surgery, and it's the middle of July. Now I got to miss 6 weeks. It's just a bad look. Already when the Saints are going through a lot of changes, like I mentioned earlier, you have a new quarterback for the first time in 16 years, pretty much. Pretty much it's Katrina. You have a new quarterback, and it's either a guy who had 30 for 30, Jameis Winston, or an unproven quarterback in Taysom Hill. That's not a good. That's not a good.
Isn't a quarterback, by the way.
Exactly, he's not even a quarterback. That's not a good situation you want to set when you're the top receiver, one of the most reliable targets on the Saints. Like it's a bad situation for Jameis because now if you're playing the Saints, what you got to do? Just shut down Alvin Kamara and you're chilling. That's it. That's all you got to do.
That's a lot harder to do than say if you're an NFL defense.
Well, if you're an NFL defense, it's going to be hard to stop Kamara, but at least you have a game plan going in. Hey, just zone in on Kamara. Whether it's him in the passing game or in the running game, you could just pretty much set your eyes on Kamara. If you had Michael Thomas, you can't set your eyes on Kamara because you got Slant Boy running around. Now that Thomas is out.
I agree once again with that.
Now that Thomas is out 6 weeks, defense is the first 6 weeks of the season could zone in. Like when the Packers play the Saints week 1, all we got to worry about, stop Alvin Kamara. If we contain Alvin Kamara, we'll win the game no problem with ease. And that's pretty much all you got to do. So overall, Michael Thomas, it's a bad look. And especially with like when you had trade rumors before, like you mentioned, Ethan, it's not the first time he's been thrown into trade rumors. There was possible trade rumors, last year, like the year before that. Yes, so it's just one of those where it's a bad petty look and just overall bad timing, especially with all the stuff the Saints had to go through during this offseason. Your franchise quarterback retires. You've lost a lot of your key players in the offseason. And you don't even know who QB1 is. Like you probably won't even know who the starting quarterback for the Saints week 1 will be until preseason week 3. Now, a lot of people say it's Jameis Winston, but what if Jameis struggles? Because if Jameis Winston struggles, you're going to have a guy who rarely plays quarterback as a utility guy as your QB1. And if you're the Saints fan, that's got to be a little concerning.
I'd be a little concerned with either one of them.
Well, I mean, here's one thing I will say. At least Jameis Winston threw a touchdown in the playoff game. He did throw a touchdown in the playoff game against the Bucs. So there's some hope. But then again, he did start. The one time he started, he had a 30 for 30 season.
This is true. Ethan,
And
you
it
got
also
anything?
doesn't help for Jameis that when the Bucks basically replace your ass, they win 4 more games than you and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's what happens when you get replaced by Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not like they replaced him with Cutler. They actually replaced him with the best quarterback of all time.
Goat shit. Just
Exactly.
saying. Ethan, you got any thoughts on Senor Michael Thomas over here?
I mean, personally, I like the petty stuff people do depending on the situation. I agree that the Saints telling him wait and put off it for your health, for the team, like, it didn't go the way they wanted it to. So obviously I understand where he's being petty. Like, you guys really made it so I had to screw over my body for y'all, and we didn't even do what we wanted to do. Obviously, I get it, you have to go against a better team in the Bucks, whatever, but come on. You guys could have still made the playoffs without him last year. And so I understand why he didn't do it in the offseason. He didn't take his offseason to recover. He's going to do it during the team's time now instead of his. I guess I understand why he's doing it. It's a bad thing to do for the team, but for him personally, I understand wanting to get back at them.
It's a tough situation because I can understand getting back at them, and sometimes it's almost, and I say this, but I can never do it either. Be the bigger person, unless you mean physically, because that's very easy for me. But it's just weird. These situations are always weird to me. And it's always annoyed me too because it's happened, and I don't think it's ever happened on purpose for the teams that I've rooted for. But I remember, the Yankees. There's a few players that could have had surgery earlier on, and then they decide not to, and then they miss the first month of the season. And don't get me wrong, baseball is a completely different sport than football, where the first month of the season in baseball is 15% of your schedule, and the first month of football is literally a quarter of it. So it is a completely different thing. But I don't know. I've always just liked to come back healthy, put last season behind you, and it is. And I can't really blame him though, because if you're out here in pain playing through it because the team literally told you to, I was yeah, don't get surgery. We kind of need you, boss. But you're bro, I'm in pain. And they're yeah, I know, but yeah, we can really use you on the sideline. That's a bad situation as well. So it's a weird time. I still don't think he's going to end up getting traded. I just can't see it happening because I don't know what you get back for him. I don't know what team. I mean, I know plenty of teams would probably want him, but it's also, do you really want a guy coming off ankle problems and it's just a
Hear me out. Michael Thomas for C.J. Henderson and a second for C.J. Henderson.
I gotta go with that.
If you're the Jags, you're not doing that. If you're the Saints, you're not doing that. Both sides win.
How do the Saints win?
They need a corner. A young corner, still on his rookie deal, only going into his second year with potential pretty much as high as anybody sitting in Denver, Colorado right now.
I mean, yeah, but Michael Thomas
what did you
second?
C.J. Henderson, the Jaguars corner, for Michael Thomas in a second.
Michael Thomas in a second
for C.J. Henderson.
That's it.
I can't give up my star receiver and a second round.
Your star receiver that doesn't want to be with your team anymore?
Yeah, well, guess what? Cry about it.
All right, so what happens when he pulls the little Le'Veon Bell and holds out?
Go ahead, bro. You ain't getting paid.
Has he already gotten paid?
Yeah, but you don't get the other money that you would be getting paid because you're not playing.
Still have a signing.
And also, if you sit out, then you don't get the eligibility for whatever year that is, which means you can't even become a free agent and things like that.
Is it like the 10-year veteran?
Thomas? Hell no.
Oh.
Didn't he get drafted in 15?
Yeah, he probably did. I was probably thinking about like the NBA because I think for NBA they have like if you're like been like a veteran for like a 10-year and you're on like the same team, you could qualify for like a mega max or something.
Not necessarily. You can qualify for a mega max after your rookie year if you're like Luka Doncic. Man's getting paid what, $50 million now? Something crazy like that.
Yeah, chump change. Honestly, that's what I usually make in about a day. But it's a different problem.
Anthony
Nobody can live the lifestyle like Anthony Conover.
It's not
got 3 shows, watching the Yankees play. Hey, bold prediction: Yanks for the AL East. Book it.
I don't know. That's a climb right there. Word to Miley Cyrus. But we'll move on to our final topic of the show. And you know what? We've been on for a little bit over an hour, so let's make this one quick. You don't want to keep the people around here too long. Listen, even though we're incredibly entertaining and, well, there's at least one stunning male on this, street right here. You're welcome, everybody.
I thought it'd be me, but like, hey, never know.
Welcome.
I thought I was the only guy on the show, to be honest with you, but all right.
Wow, look at this. You're just mad because you don't have the luscious hair like me and Matt.
I'm just mad I'm a ginger. What do you mean?
Oh, you know what? Listen, I can't go there. I'm not allowed to say things like that. That's just rude. But if you say it, then it's not my problem. I can just agree. You know what I mean? But with that being said, we will go with a nice little quick breakdown of the Packers and the Bears. Obviously, we have one Packer fan here. We have one Bear fan here. So you know what? I'll let each one of you do it for your team. I need a team record for both team, or for your said team, and I'll give you about 1 minute to explain why. Matt, go ahead.
All righty. Do you want me to go with my team, the Packers, and then Ethan Bears, or could we each get a minute for each team?
Yeah. You know what? Let's go each team. Let's go. Why not?
All righty. So for the Green Bay Packers, I believe the Green Bay Packers should win 13 games. Last 2 years with Rodgers and LaFleur, they've won 13 games. They made it to back-to-back NFC Championship games. You're pretty much bringing back the same team of last year, excluding Corey Linsley and one other player, and you're bringing back pretty much most of the same squad that suffered another championship game loss. You add Randall Cobb in the offseason. You have a pretty good draft. I mean, you're a drafted center that you draft in the second round as a starter. And for the most part, I think it's going to be the same. I wouldn't be shocked if we win 13 games. Especially because now Rodgers is back. If he wasn't back, it would be a different ball game, different whole schedule outlook. But with him being back, 13-4, that's the expectation. I think the only losses that we'll pretty much suffer is this 49ers, week 3. Barring any injuries, I think we'll most likely lose that game. Another game I think we'll lose is at Arrowhead. I don't think we're the only reason why we beat the Chiefs the last time was because Mahomes didn't play and their QB was Matt Moore. And even though they had Matt Moore, they kept that shit pretty close. Like, we only beat him by a touchdown. Other games I could see us losing to, I could see us maybe somehow dropping a game to maybe the Ravens, maybe. And maybe one more, like, I would honestly say, like, for the most part, our toughest schedule is going to be on the road. Because, like, you look at our road games, you got the Ravens on the road, Chiefs on the road. You then got the 49ers on the road. All going to be tough games. Those are 3 losable games. And I think the only home loss I could maybe see is either going to be the Browns late. Well, no, you know what? Not the Browns, because Rodgers is good in late December. I would honestly say the home loss I could maybe see would maybe be the Rams. Maybe. Just because you got Stafford there. You still have a good defense. The Rams are pretty much bringing back the same team they had last year. And even though the Rams had an injured Goff, they kept it pretty close with Green Bay in the divisional round. Like, we didn't really blow the socks off with the Rams in that divisional playoff game. It was pretty much close in the end until Rodgers threw a touchdown pass to Lazard to win by 14. But for the most part, it was a close game. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost to the Rams at home. Those are the only losses I pretty much see out of Green Bay. If there are any others, let me know. I mean, I could maybe see a loss of the Browns. I think that could be one of those like upset ones where like not a lot of people expect Rodgers in December to lose at Lambeau, but if he were to lose one, Browns could be one because they are a legit team. And if the Browns are still living up to the hype week 16, that could be an easy loss recipe. Just on the Packers side of things, that's what I would expect. High expectations for me. For the Bears side of things, I have them going 7-10. I mean, I'm looking at the Bears, and they still got a lot of question marks to me. Andy Dalton did not have a good season in Dallas. He did not light it up in Dallas. I honestly thought with Andy Dalton in Dallas and the NFC East being so bad, I thought for sure he would at least keep them afloat and at least win the division at 8-8. But you mean to tell me with Andy Dalton, the Cowboys were what, 2-2 when Dak got hurt?
Yeah.
Because Dak got hurt in week 5 and they were 2-2. You mean to tell me with Andy Dalton for 12 weeks, you go 4-8? That's not a good look for Andy Dalton, especially with how he got moved on from Cincinnati because he was washed and old, and he looked washed and he looked old. It was not no red rifle Andy Dalton. It was just Andy Dalton, just a regular guy. So there's still those question marks on him, and then there's also question marks on the rookie quarterback Justin Fields. Is he really that guy? Is he really a legit guy? Because in college he showed flashes. He showed flashes of dominant performance. Look at the kind of performance he put up against Clemson in the playoff game. He was phenomenal, tremendous. But then he lays a goose egg in the championship game against Bama. And he's also been a little inconsistent on some of the games that he played at in Ohio State. So it's one to where, can Justin Fields make a smooth transition to the NFL? Because if he can, the Bears are literally one of those teams that are a quarterback away. They have the defense, and the only thing that they're missing is just a quarterback. So I am winning 7 games. I mean, can they prove me wrong? Possibly. They possibly could be a sleeper team to make the playoffs. But I think for the Bears, 7 wins. You also got Matt Nagy on the hot seat. I mean, this is pretty much do or die for him. I think he's pretty much dead. I think this is it for Nagy. I don't think he's going to do anything well. He'll probably get fired during the end of the season, or maybe even during the season you might see Nagy get the boot, maybe. But for the most part, I think for the Bears, 7 wins. But the future is bright with Justin Fields. I'd say maybe year 2, year 3 of Justin Fields, they might be a legit playoff team and could maybe push in the NFC North. But for right now, 7 wins should be the expectation.
Ethan, you've heard Mr. Wise Cheese. Now give me your Bears-Packers predictions.
I'll start with the Packers. Like Matt, I also see 13 wins. I'll probably one-up it just because you have the extra year. I'll give them 14. Packers, you're missing Corey Linsley. Like you said, the only piece that you're really missing from that Packers core. You're adding Randall Cobb, who has chemistry. Not necessarily the fastest or the best jumping receiver out there, but he'll have the chemistry with Rodgers. And I don't think since Cobb left, there's ever been a wide receiver 2 in Green Bay that's been a starting caliber wide receiver 2. You have Devontae Adams, you have Aaron Jones, and you have Aaron Rodgers.
Also, don't sleep on Tanyan, too. Forgot to throw that in.
Yeah, and you have a top 7 tight end in Tanyan. You have what's guaranteed to be a top 5 offense almost. And then you have a young and talented defense with what could be the best pass rush in the NFL if they play up to their potential, along with one of the best safety duos in Amos and Savage.
Thank you for Adrian Amos, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course. Take him. I personally love Darnell Savage. He's my favorite player on the Packers. So.
Did you go to Maryland?
Yep.
He did.
My boy loves him. My boy went to Maryland. That's literally the only reason I remember that. But Ethan, your Bears.
The Bears are complicated because if Dalton stinks it up, Fields stinks it up, and Foles stinks it up, you can go 2 or 3 wins on the year. But if Dalton can play like half to 3/4 of his Pro Bowl self, you can get up to 10 wins with this Bears team. I'm personally going to go with a 9-8 record, having barely finished above 500, getting a couple upsets along the way. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 49ers or a Browns upset somewhere in this year. I'm not particularly high on the Niners, so.
And is your coach on the hot seat like Matt said?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think we go 9-8. Barely missed out on the playoffs. Nagy's gone. We hire an offensive guru that actually can coach offense, unlike Nagy, and we'll figure something out. I'm hoping that we get the Liberty Flames football coach, but or potentially Louisiana Lafayette.
Well, people, that was just
what about
unbelievable.
Well, wait. What about you, Connie? Do you have any predictions for Packers or Bears? I want to hear what you have to say from an outsider's perspective. From an outsider's perspective, do you agree? Do you agree with both of our record predictions, or do you have anything different?
No, I do. That's the thing. It's an outsider perspective, but it's the Packers division to lose. Obviously, if Rodgers wasn't there, it's a completely different story. But with him there, it just kind of seals the deal. I don't have faith in any of the other teams to actually overtake them. I mean, what? You have faith in Kirk Cousins and the Vikings? No. I don't have faith in the Bears yet, and I certainly don't have faith in the Lions. They're barely an NFL team at the moment. But yeah, they're probably in the 12 to 13 win category as long as everybody's healthy over there. And then, like I said, I think the Bears are going to end up going to Fields what was that, like 14 I said or something like that?
Yeah, 13 when they play the Cardinals.
So that means that they're not making the playoffs, first of all, if you're switching quarterbacks in week 13. And I don't really expect them to anyway. And that's not even because I think that they're going to be like an awful team or something like that. I think it's going to be the division winners and then two teams from the NFC West that are going to make the playoffs. Like, I literally don't think that there's room for the Bears to make it. So it's going to be it'll be interesting because, like Matt said, and Ethan, I'm sure you're with it as well, that the future is pretty solid for them, especially the defense continues to play, the way that they always have, it seems like, in the entire franchise's history. And maybe if they actually have a quarterback that knows what a football looks like, they'll be fine. And that's what you obviously hope that Justin Fields turns into. But I think it's going to be much of the same. It's going to be a Packer team running away with the division, and then a battle for second or third between the Vikings and Bears. And then the Lions are just going to be
cruising along fourth place.
No, they'll be meowing, not even roaring.
No, they won't be meowing. They'll be biting kneecaps. And meowing.
They'll be doing something. Winning is not one of them, I'll tell you that. But yeah,
win in Detroit.
Yeah, it's just not a good time to be a Detroit fan, honestly.
But one thing I will say. What are you guys' thoughts on? Are you guys pumped for Dan Campbell to see what his post game press conferences are?
No,
the same guy. Let's say the same guy who said we're going to be biting kneecaps and loving his rookies fighting each other.
Yeah. All right. We're either going to see the Lions in a decade with Dan Campbell being the best team in the NFC, or they're going to be the 2016 Cleveland Browns and Campbell's gone in 3 years. There's no in between.
No, there isn't. It's either going to be riding high or...
Do you know what it will be? Very entertaining. And honestly, I'm in the entertainment business, so that's all that matters. I'm trying to see if... Oh, there we go. Episode 1 of Hard Knocks is out. I know what I'm doing after this episode. But yeah.
You're gonna watch Jerry Jones make bold statements about...
Well, actually, I got to watch the Yankees lose first.
What? They're losing?
They're losing 5-4 right now. Oh my! No, never mind. 6-4 now. To the Royals.
How are you losing to the Orioles?
Royals.
Oh, Royals. I was gonna say.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel terrible, but listen, you can't win every game.
Why not? You're the Yankees. You should be able to win every game.
Hey! Yanks have been hot. They're right now 62-50.
They're right now like 21 of our last 30 games. Ethan, you calm down over there. Mr. Cub fan.
I can't call Anthony Rizzo, by the way. Your franchise.
And they're only 2 games back with wildcard spot.
Exactly. So I don't
Only
wanna
2
hear
games back.
any-
So Yankees ain't dead yet.
I don't want to hear not a thing. But what I
All
will
because
say,
all because of Anthony Rizzo and
Yep.
Joey Gallo.
mostly Anthony Rizzo. Gallo.
Yeah,
Mostly Rizzo.
Mostly Rizzo.
My son
Mostly
Gallo.
Rizzo.
My man Gallo been struggling, but it's okay. He'll pick it
I,
up.
I, I bet
But,
I bet you Ethan's got a secret Rizzo Yanks jersey.
Oh, I want to get one. I really do.
You should get one. You should just get a jersey collection of Anthony Rizzo, just from
Listen,
all the
there's
teams.
nothing like a nice pinstripe
Cubs, the
Yankee
Yankees.
jersey, baby.
All right. Rizzo should have stayed on the Cubs, and Rizzo should have been the next manager because I'm sorry, David Ross is not it.
Then
Well,
why would
you
you
know what?
hire him
I
in
have
the
a
first
show that
place?
talks about baseball.
You
as
should hire him in the
well,
first place because the players wanted him. The players that
But-
wanted him are gone.
No, that's
What we
tough.
call tough. It's tough. But listen, the show's over, people. But before we go, of course, I have to thank the gentleman that joined me on the show. So, Ethan, what do you have for the people before we go?
Check me out at Ethan_Carboni on Twitter. Check out Creating Madness, NFL Deep Dive, and Saturday Standouts. Tomorrow on Saturday Standouts, me and Caleb are interviewing the NFL 3-cone drill record holder, Jordan Thomas, former Oklahoma cornerback.
Ready? Matt, what do we got?
Well, what we got down below is my Twitter handle at Matt_Skura. We also have my Instagram at Matt_Skura20. And check out my sports podcast, me and my great friend Caleb Conant do, called MCS Real Sports Podcast. I have a link tree in my bio on both Instagram and Twitter, giving links to where the podcast is available. And it's available in a lot of places, people. It's available. You can find it on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. You can even find it on iHeartRadio. That's right. We go in international and global. You can find it many places. Check out our episodes. We've got 56 episodes uploaded. Check those out. Leave us a review. Leave us 5 stars. And that's all I got. And as always, Anthony, it's always a pleasure to be on the Hard Count.
Yes,
And I just
sir.
love talking football.
As for me, you know what it is by now. Monday's Generational Sports, Gen Z Sports for the pod. Now, we are doing a giveaway, people. So let me tell you how it works. We're giving away a nice little Amazon gift card to celebrate our 50th episode. So if you follow us on Twitter, that's one entry. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Generational Sports, that's another entry. And if you go on, Apple Podcasts or wherever and leave us a nice 5-star review, write a review, say that we're fantastic, that's another entry. So 3 possible entries, of course. So make sure you go and do that, and you can win yourself a nice little gift card.
I
Now,
just
that
followed.
is- I know you did. I saw that. So that's Mondays, 7 Eastern. Make sure you go check out Generational Sports. Me and Josh always holding it down, talking a little bit of everything. Obviously, the Hard Count took a little bit of a break, but we'll be back. CJ is taking care of some things, so he'll be back later on. But until then, I'll be, finagling my way around with some new guests. And I try to get some new faces on here. That's what I'll be doing. So this will be back next week. And then Thursday is Backstop Banter with me and Michael, where we talk everything baseball. So make sure you go and check that out as well. We have our Twitter account, so make sure you check out Backstop Banter as well. Anthony Conover _ for my Twitter. But with that being said, shout out everyone who tuned in. Shout out the boys for coming on the show with me. And until next time.